I'm Briar Kincaid, 28, pastry chef, 6.5 months carrying twins, and freshly divorced from a man who golfs with judges. 2 days earlier, Judge Emmett Langford awarded my ex, Grayson, full custody of children who hadn't taken their first breath yet, because Grayson's lawyer knows people and my court-appointed attorney shook so hard he could barely read his notes. I was at that clinic to make the girls disappear forever. The woman's words hit like a slap of cold truth. I turned away from the door and called the only person crazy enough to help. Kincaid. Wren Harlow, former military intelligence, now private investigator, and the sister I chose in college, answered on the first ring. Meet me at the Battery. Bring everything you have on Langford. By sunrise, we sat on a bench, watching the harbor turn silver. I poured out the threats, the hidden accounts, the way Grayson smiled while Langford signed my future away. Wren never blinked. She just opened her tablet and spun it toward me. Langford bought a second home in Kiowa last month, cash, through an LLC registered to Grayson's development partner. Same pattern in 6 other custody cases favoring big donors. She'd been hunting him for 2 years. By noon, I'd hired Thea Langston, the attorney who'd once made a federal judge cry on the stand. By 4 p.m., we filed an emergency motion to freeze Langford's order and demand his recusal. By 6 p.m., Grayson was screaming in my voicemail, "You have no idea who you just pissed off." He had no idea who he'd married. The next 10 days were hell. Grayson showed up drunk at 2 a.m., pounding on my door. He left texts calling me hysterical, broke, unfit. Every word went straight to Thea and Wren. At 32 weeks, I collapsed with contractions in my kitchen. Doctors said 1 more episode, and the girls would come early. Thea weaponized it. She subpoenaed Grayson's financials, Langford's property records, everything. The morning of the recusal hearing, Wren handed me a single audio file. "If Langford tries to bulldoze us, play this." The courtroom smelled like lemon polish and panic. Langford strutted in like he still owned the bench, until Thea stood. "Your Honor, we move for immediate recusal and vacate every order you've signed in this case due to documented corruption." Langford sneered, then froze when Thea hit play. A recorded call. Langford's voice, lazy and smug. "Tell Kincaid the Kiowa house closed. Tell him the next favor's on me." The gallery gasped. Grayson went fishbelly white. Langford tried to gavel chaos into silence while deputies escorted him out in cuffs. By noon, the South Carolina Judicial Commission suspended him pending federal investigation. By 3 p.m., every local station led with "Charleston judge removed in custody for cash scandal." At 34 weeks, my daughters, Magnolia and Azalea, arrived screaming into a world I finally owned. Grayson tried one last hospital visit with crocodile tears and a hush money offer. Thea met him with security and a restraining order. He left in handcuffs. 4 months later, Judge Marisol Reyes signed the final decree: sole custody to me, supervised visits for Grayson only if the girls ever ask, they won't, and a permanent order of protection. 10 years later, my girls chase fireflies through a backyard that smells like jasmine instead of fear. Grayson rents a studio above a bar he used to own. Langford trades cigarettes for protection in federal prison. I never found the woman in the Gamecock's cap. Some nights, when the wind moves through the oaks just right, I swear I still hear Sleet and Mercy whisper, "You kept them." If you've ever stood outside a clinic ready to erase your future just to escape a lie, then discovered the lie was smaller than your fire, drop "I kept my girls" below. We're out here raising the daughters they tried to buy, and the sunrise has never looked this free.